Hot 97, this is like a room filled with so much history and legends right now. What's up? What's going on?
What it be like?
Listen, we don't ever get visits by people with your status. So something must be brewing right now. There's talks. Congratulations. I heard something amazing just got announced. Talk to us a little bit, Reza. What's going on?
Well, yeah. There's a new album coming called Wu-Tang. The saga continues. The Wu-Tang Clan have come and dropped some incredible music, production handled by Law Mathematics. You know what I mean? And even some other dope MCs have joined the party on our new single, People Say.
Right.
We had Redman join the party, so
whoa,
there hasn't been a Wu-Tang Clan featuring Redman song, I don't think, ever. Right? Maybe one in history.
No. Red got some history.
I mean, official.
Nah. Red is fam, man.
I know Red is fam, but I'm talking about there's never been a Wu-Tang Clan Redman feature. I don't think you got that in
where
the books.
Where it's been written like that. It was one in history, so that doesn't really count. So wait, how did that happen? Like, was everybody just on board? Has it just been time and everyone's like, was it just easy to get everybody back in the studio and make it happen?
Well, let me just say that, you know, I'm executive producing this, you know what I mean? And the man who took like a lot of time to rally the guys together and to really put that creative energy into it is a lot of mathematics. So he could speak on all the headaches that he had to go through.
I was about to say, tell us what
get
happened.
That done.
Yeah, I mean, it was, some points it was hard, some points it wasn't. I mean, it took time. It took time, and you know, it's like me. You know, I've been around for a minute, and
right.
As far as production wise, I learned a lot from this brother right here.
Yeah.
So you know, and I know the right verse, the right voices on the right track is important. So it's like when I'm making joints, I'm hearing, you know, who should be on this track, and you know, as I'm going around, because even certain verses, it's like once it was done and the brother heard it, it was like, oh no, I gotta change my verse.
I was gonna say, did you have to deal with that? Like, damn, I know he gonna say something about this. Like,
well, they would hear somebody else's verse and be like, oh, nah, I gotta come back.
But that's I didn't do that.
Nah, you ain't. Nah. Reef didn't do that. But it's like, yeah, nah, he killed it straight off top. But it was like, and I thought certain brothers killed it off top. But they was like, after they heard, like, you know, it's like, wait, hold on, that's how he can. Like, all right, let me get one more. Let me.
But that's the Wu way. I mean, one thing that made the Wu, you know, as it's written in the books now, some of the top lyricists to touch the microphone was that it was always an internal competition and not, you know, friendly competition. If he says something witty, you want to say something wittier.
Yep.
And that leads to a song where every MC is ripping it. And it's no exception today. It was like that when we was kids doing it, and even as men, this MC spirit. You can't shake the MC spirit. I think it's like
it's a competitive sport.
Yeah, it's a sport, right? It's competitive. So this spirit pops up, and if somebody hears that, yo, so and so dropped a hard verse, you might want to go in and change your bars. You know what I
mean? Do you feel like that happened a lot with this album?
With this album, it happened on a few songs. Because for the most part, like I worked on it for a minute and I kept it kind of contained, and I you know, just to get it right, you know what I mean? Just because it's like, you know, damn, it's hard to explain. It's like, you know, I just took it like a real serious, as far as like, I got the nicest MCs out there.
Absolutely.
And you know, for me, like, it's competition. Coming up, it was a competition. When I came to the studio and I brought a beat, it's like, if I came to the studio, he had a beat on, or Fourth Disciple, True Master, I have to wait my turn. Then when I threw it on, it better been fire. If not, I was getting brothers like, all right, put that RZA beat back on.
It was a little tough on him.
It's like, yeah.
It was a little hard on him.
Yeah, the guy set me up one time, like when I first started making beats. Because I played him one of the beats. He's like, yo, play it for everybody.
And you're like, come on.
On a bus. We was on a tour bus. That was the Metallica joint.
Right.
And I played the joint,
so even
and it got quiet.
Yeah,
the whole bus got quiet.
Even with production, it was stressful.
Well, check this out now that, you know, I got, you know, as the Abbott, right? I could say, you know, a lot of mathematics production talent has really reaching a pinnacle. And what I love about the new single and the new music that we all participated in is that he kept an element of the New York hip hop raw sound that I may have evolved from as a producer. And I think that him having that, when I hear it and I heard it on these songs, and when he'll bring the songs to me and bring the tracks to me, I was like, wow, I forgot about that. It's like when somebody pull out a nice pair of classic Adidas or a nice pair of classic Pumas, you're like, yo, I forgot that was fly. And then he mixed it with the new sonics and the new way they make music, and he came with a great piece of product, y'all.
What made you guys even want to start, I guess, because, putting a whole album together is a lot of work, obviously. There's so many details to it. And you guys at this point have the option to do music, not do music. What was, I guess, the motivation behind this album? Because that's a big title, right? To say, oh, the Wu, we're getting back together. We're going to have Redman on it. We're going to be doing this. I mean, it's like now there's a little bit of pressure, but I'm sure you guys don't really care about the pressure. What's the motivation behind this?
The motivation is just the love for hip hop, because it's like I would still be doing it regardless. So it's like if I wake up and I feel like making a beat, I'm gonna make a beat, and it's like I got mad beats and I'm just sitting, and at the same time I'm still perfecting my craft.
Yeah.
So that's the whole motivation. I want to show the world what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that echoes with the MCs, right?
Definitely. It's like,
it's the funny thing about our generation, any generation I think, but I could definitely say that hip hop didn't know that it was going to have such economic value.
Yes.
It was something that was done for fun and for energy and for expression. And so that seed of hip hop is in us still, you know what I mean? And hopefully it'll continue to go to the next generation and continue to forever, because if it becomes something that's all about economics, art never really reaches its full potential.
Yep.
I could use an example like Picasso. He painted. His painting had no value until it was painted. So it's the same thing with art. Just do you. Have fun doing it, and the value of it to speak for itself when those who look at it, you know what I mean?
So it's not surprising when we hear all these new records coming out as far as, hip hop's the most listened to genre of music. When you hear that, are you like, back in the day, were you like, we're gonna get to that point? Or, you know what I'm saying? Did you think hip hop would be so big like this? That is literally the most listened to genre in the world.
Yes.
Not just, hey, in America, but in the world.
I think so. KRS One.
Really?
I'll tell you why I thought that.
Okay.
KRS One, who was a very enlightened MC,
Absolutely.
the teacher, right? He said it in one of his songs. He was like, hip hop isn't even 20 years old. He said 50 years down the line you could start this. Then we'll be the old school artists. You know what I mean? When he said that back in 1988 or something, I'm thinking like, I'm a kid thinking like, wait, he means that what we're gonna be like oldie but goodie stations. You know what I mean? And our music gonna continue. And KTLA, I think, was the first station what is the one in California? They had K-Day. K-Day was the first station to go to a hip hop format.
Right.
And when that happened, I felt like the completion of what he was saying and everything that because I dreamed, for personally, the RZA, I always dreamed that I would be doing this. Like, I always felt that that's my calling, is to have music somehow be put out to the world. And so he saw it then, I think. He said it, and now we're living in something that was said. So for me, it's not a surprise. And I think that hip-hop I said this one thing about it, being actually the out of any form of music, it's the one that actually contains all forms.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
So because of that, it's endless, it's bountiless. You know what I mean?
Even when we talk about lyrics and, MCs, do you feel the value of having a great lyricist and MC is it as important now as it was maybe, in the beginning of hip hop?
Well, from the perspective of the MC,
yes,
it is always valuable. You know what I mean? Maybe the songs of today might not taking it as serious,
right.
But from the MC standpoint, I would say it's always
still important.
Yeah, it's very
Do you ever
important.
look at, the rappers who are coming up and you're ever like, oh, no, it's just not, or are you more embracing whatever they're putting out nowadays? Because, sometimes I do feel that maybe sometime the OGs might, son the young rappers
Well,
nowadays, your bars aren't up.
Well, I think everybody has their own, their own originality that they do have to get out there. As far as personally with the youth, I mean, for me, it's always the same. Like, good music is good music. So
Regardless, yeah.
whoever is bringing it, if it's good, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be the illest MC in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be the illest DJ in the world.
Right.
But it's opportunity, and sometimes people,
And then where it's come from just being an art form that we did in the parks and at the block parties or whatever, it's now grown into big business.
Yeah.
So
Which is
that-
crazy.
So that changes.
But I would advise any MC who is coming on as an MC, as they call it, a rapper,
Right.
to definitely strive to have powerful bars, great
Yeah.
lyrics, because even a singer, strives to become a better singer. A guitar player
Right.
strives to become a better guitar player. You know what I mean? So I think that it's important for their longevity and for them to recognize that at one point, at one point in life, no matter who the musician is, whether it was Marvin Gaye, whether it was Bob Dylan, or whether it was Nat King Cole, or as far as you go back to, as far as we could go to the future, sometimes the artist's voice becomes the voice of the time.
Yeah.
And the voice of the world. So it's important that they recognize that they are making the soundtrack of our generation.
Yeah.
So let's say 50 years from now, they go 2017, and we need music for that soundtrack.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, let's say the song come on Percocet.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. The people who's watching will think Percocet was a common thing for all of us, and it is probably pretty common with the youth.
Right.
But it's not giving a description of everything that's happening. But now
Right.
Kendrick will come on, who I think is a MC who keeps the balance for us. I think J. Cole keeps the balance, and I love Future. Trust me, put
Yeah.
on Future. I might jump on and start dancing with you. All right, but because I'm into it. But it has to be a balance, and I think that the MCs who are not putting that focus into it, that they should always consider it. And they should, go back and study the great ones so that they can add that, I mean, we watch Drake just become greater and greater.
Right.
You know what I mean? We watch that happen, you even Kendrick, you watch him just continue to become a better MC because he cared about being that.
Right.
That's the difference. You can tell the MCs who basically have studied the history of the culture. And they also they mix that with the today, and you can feel it in the music.
Wu-Tang was able to transcend, I feel, when it comes to the audience. I mean, you had everybody rocking to Wu-Tang, right?
Me personally, I think we, as a group, I think we said something that everyone can identify with.
Yeah.
As a group.
Right.
And that's the beautiful thing about being in a group. As someone to say something that reaches everyone.
Right.
That's my personal thought.
But you know what it was also with Wu? It was the music was very enlightened, right? It wasn't just, hey, we're gonna rap just to rap because we
Right.
could put some lyrics together. It was spiritual.
Yeah, it's a spiritual element. I mean, the spiritual element was important for Wu, and I think that spiritual element definitely helped us resonate with multi cultures. You know what I mean? And also, like you said, you had 9 points of view.
Right.
I think like when we first came out, I just know for the black community, you saw your whole hood.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But then when you start hearing our lyrics and start speaking, you also saw the whole culture of America, whether we talked from comic books, from
Right.
old songs, from sneakers, Ghostface, and how many shoe colors.
Sheesh.
But then you also heard wisdom, and the wisdom that came from it may come from the Bible, from the Holy Quran, from the Bhagavad Gita, you know what I mean, or just from brothers like Malcolm X. To whoever who was important to the world, from Gandhi. Like we've incorporated the life experience into our lyrics. And I think a lot of MCs up to a certain point wasn't doing that. There's one of our brothers named Killer Priest, right?
Yeah.
He pointed out something to me. He met me when I was like 15 years old, and we had a rap battle. Right? That's how it was back in the day. You'll walk up, you see a dude in your battle, right? And he lost that battle because I said a lyric that starts off describing myself as a sperm cell and struggling to get to the egg cell. And it was called Life. When he heard that, he said it changed his whole ideology of what a lyric could be. Because here I am talking about struggling to be it was a lyric that said, inside the womb, I was a foreign object. I was like a new kid walking through the projects. You know what I mean?
Done.
So when you heard that kind of ideology, it opened up their brains. And throughout Wu-Tang, you'll find that homicide is legal.
Yeah.
Death is a penalty, but one justifies the homicide when he dies in his own iniquity. It's like when you start hearing all those kind of lyrics, or you guard on chess boxing. What's that first line? Raw, I'ma give it to you with no trivia. Raw like cocaine straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation like the Emancipation Proclamation. So you're hearing all these different ideologies, and then Dirty comes in with just first thing first and messing with the roast. I be sticking pins in your head like a nurse. Like,
Yeah,
so you get all these
absolutely.
angles.
Does it, when you guys get back in the studio, does it feel weird to not have Old Dirty Bastard in there? Because obviously the chemistry, and even though it's been years musically, does it play a part?
I mean, he always is missing.
He will always be greatly missed. His element is just irreplaceable. This can never be replaced. Music and his stage presence. It's
Energy, just everything.
Everything about it.
The cool thing on the new record, Wu-Tang, the saga continues. Allah Math was able to dig into some of our files and pull out some Old Dirty speaking versus energy, and he pulled out one thing that this is a spoiler alert for those who are going to get the album, but ODB says something on this record that's really important for today. He says, I want y'all to listen to me. Everybody listen to me. And when I say this, you're going to know that you heard it here. What they're going to try to do, they're going to try to pit blacks against whites. But it ain't going to work because we all having a good time in this. You know what I mean? So he already saw that was going to happen. That was going to be a big conflict of our races here in this country. You know what I mean? And he said that he's been gone for mad years already.
He said teach the seeds.
He said teach the babies this so that we don't end up fighting each other. Yeah. Because one thing that makes this country what it is the diversity of it.
Right.
It makes it what it is. That's why you're able to have a different kind of light bulb. It's because another dude from this part felt that way, he felt that way, and that's why it's became so powerful because of the diversity. So anyway, he pointed that out.
That's crazy.
Years ago. He might have said that in like 2000 or 90, and even in the 90s.
That was 90s. That was in the 90s. That was 90s.
He was, listen, one thing about ODB that we don't I think a lot of the world missed about him or don't understand about him was that he was very truthful, and I gotta say, in a way, he was prophetic in what he would talk about. He said a lot of things that I didn't believe until it came out.
Really?
I'm serious. I don't want to go into all that because that's a whole nother
that's
chamber.
a whole different.
But he was a very unique individual, and it's always the ones that I guess that don't give us all the time we want from them, that gives us something that's for the times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's the power of music, and I'm just so happy. When I heard that you guys were putting an album out, I was like, no, because we've just heard so many, there's going to be a compilation here. This guy's selling this album and you guys don't know about it. And it was just so much. And it's like, when that happened, Martin, I don't even know how to say his last name. Did that hurt your guys' feelings musically? Like, because this is someone who has an album and kept it for his own use. I don't know, as a hip hop fan, as some of his music, I was like, fam, what's going on out here? How did you guys feel during that? Because we never actually heard from you guys.
That's the Shkreli situation?
Yeah.
You know, that's the maybe one of the first albums that I participated in that I was on that I never even heard myself.
So weird. Is that weird? Am I the only one who feels that? I felt like that was
Well,
very weird.
Well, look, I got blamed for that. Look, listen, I heard it, right?
Yeah.
Listen, no, seriously, I take the blame for that because it was really a bigger statement than just the music. You know, music had been devalued. You know what I mean, to me,
Right.
and music is art, and so the idea was to like, yo, we're gonna treat it like an art. Then, if we as a people don't understand, and this is my own analogy, not the
Right.
rest of the clan, because a lot of the brothers disagree with me on this. But as the abbot, I was allowed to do it, right? But as music, it takes time, money, dedication, sweat, even blood sometimes to make an album. And sometimes when it goes out and a person just hits a button and takes it for free, he takes away the artist's chance to do it again. You know, we have to go back and recoup the money. You got it is a business, and the business was being devalued, and even the art was being devalued because it became more like music was an entitlement.
Yeah.
When I seen that a kid would pay $600 for his phone,
More. Yes.
$300 for his headphones.
Yep.
How you gonna pay $300 for a headphone when a headphone is useless without one song, but you won't pay for the music? That didn't make sense to me anymore. And so, and at the same time, the way that art was also being devalued and not understood to be what it was, I decided to, we decided, right, me and those who collaborated with me on it, and the Wu brothers, 50-50, right? But was to put a piece of art in the world, and make it just stand for itself. And Shkreli bought it. You know what I mean? But it was 5 or 6 people trying to buy it. You know what I mean?
Really?
No, yeah, it was done in a way, and I can't talk so much about it because I got all these disclaimers, but I can tell you this much. It was done in a way that a Picasso was done. It's done as an auction. You have to go there and you got to bid on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And music in the old days was commissioned by royalties and things of that nature. So this was a throwback, a throw forward, and more importantly, to start the conversation about, is music art? Should it be treated as such? And will we recognize the value of it when we don't have it? So, I get chewed out to this day by fans and some of a lot of people about, why would you do that? We want the album. You gave it to him and he turns out to be a super villain.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, yo, we could have prevented that. How? By when we put music out, we support that so your artist could go do it again. He could do it again.
What was, and I don't know if you can talk too much about it, is everything squared away with that situation at the hotel? Zelia Banks we were all confused with that. Are you good?
Let me check my text messages.
Okay, let's see. The text message, okay, it's done. But as long as everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Yo, she's a great talent, man.
I agree.
Honestly, and I just,
100%
when she puts her energy into her talent, the world is hers.
Yeah. And I'm glad everything got figured out. So what else is everybody working on? Because I know, obviously, the saga continues. That is the focus. But, the one other thing, many things that we all loved about Wu was that everybody still had the freedom to work on their own art and put their own projects out there. Anything that you guys are working on individually that we can kind of get ready for?
Yeah, you can get ready for Loyalty is Royalty. That's the next project for Master Killer.
Okay.
Definitely.
Why the title? What happened? What's going on? Who broke the loyalty factor? Something went. What?
No, it's just a lot of the youth are just today have gotten away from just basic principle.
I agree. Loyalty.
So
loyalty is royalty.
Yes. It's everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mathematics, what's going on with you?
You're
like, everything is this. The saga continues.
Yeah. Everything is that.
Everything is that.
Yeah. Working on a joint with Meth. That one is almost complete too as well.
That's great.
Reza,
what are you doing? Movies, flying to Australia. What do you have?
My focus, I'm drawing a blank. It's just I think in the title, the saga continues.
Right.
It says it all because our art is just being continued in many forms, and I'm just really I'm kind of extra excited, to have this piece of product in our hands. And when you get a chance to hear every song there, you hear the lyricism and the production and the message that's coming from the record. You're gonna feel how I feel. I'm extra excited about this album, and so I'm kind of blank. All I got, what you got coming next? The next single, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In fact, the next single is something that Wu-Tang. We always like to have one of our brothers do his own thing, right?
Right.
So the next single is gonna be pretty cool. I think we're gonna. There's a song that Meth did to me that he just lyrically beast on, and I'm trying to convince Mathematics to, make a video for that one. But we'll talk about that off air.
Okay, so Mathematics, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but kinda. Okay, because I feel like working on this album, you had the most communication with everybody. Okay, so in your opinion, who do you feel out of the brothers? Who do you feel who's the most obsessive when it comes to their work ethics? Where they're just like never happy and they're like, nah, I gotta do it. Nope, let's do that again. Let's go back in there.
I'm gonna say me.
You.
Yeah, because it's like, I go through every song. Like, I listen to one song, I don't know how many times. And if I hear something that ain't right, it's like, nah. If I hear, I'll call the God up and be like, yo, we need to do this verse over or whatever the case may be. But I was actually, I really didn't have to do that with this project because everybody was really, everybody's really on point. Like all the darts that brothers was coming with was right there. It's like, like Beth was killing it. The God was killing it. Arif, Ghost, Ray. It's like they was giving me what I needed. So I just wanted to make sure I gave them what they needed in the finished product.
Yeah.
So, before I was like letting anybody hear any too much, I was really just really
being a perfectionist.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's ask them who smoked the most weed. You'll get an answer out of that.
Oh, Meth. I smoked the most.
So you got an answer out of that.
Okay, so out of everybody, in the middle of the night, who would call you randomly at 4 a.m. with an idea? Who would that person be?
At 4 a.m?
Like, just like, oh, I got it. I figured it out. You're like, me.
Yeah, that would be.
That's you.
Because most of the time at 4 a.m, I got like if I'm working and music is blasting, whether I got the music blasting, speakers or headphones on.
Yeah.
So I'm not hearing nothing. It's like even like if I put it in my phone because I'm walking around and I put the headphones on and I throw it on airplane mode so I don't get disturbed.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you're the psycho of the group. Got it.
So,
got
yeah.
it. But it's you being a perfectionist and you taking so much pride in this art.
Yeah, I had to because it's like from who I came under, who I learned. It's like I see the God work, I see his ethics, and it's like if I look at my 3 favorite producers in hip hop, right? It's RZA,
right?
Dr. Dre,
Yep.
and Marley Marl. I mean, it's a lot of other dope producers. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we go Pete Rock, Premier, Kanye's, it's Static, Select. It's a whole bunch.
Right.
But I look at them 3, and I look at their body of work and what they put out. Because you got a lot of producers that may have put out like maybe, banging songs here and there or even a banging album. But when you look at consistency over time and you look at growth and development and then, you look at their work ethic as far as what they do, it's like, they serious about it. Mm-hmm. They was serious about it and they are, So that's how I had to take. Yeah, it was inspiring. It's like and music. I love music, and that's how I had to take it. So I just went there.
If you could tell us what's the one thing that you absolutely admire about RZA, out of the 3, your favorite 3 producers, one element about each one that you just completely admire. Okay,
something I could say I learned from all of them. We could take it back to Marley Marl first. Because I started, I'm a DJ, mm-hmm. and Marley with the break beats and the things he was doing with the break beats and how he was putting those together, You know, that right there, like his drums, like even like to know that he was the first one to actually start sampling.
Yeah.
You know, and how he flipped and like the way he flipped beats for me was crazy. As like how he flipped impeach the president's like or substitution, and yeah, I mean that right there is mind blowing for me, especially coming from that era.
Yeah.
Then we can go to Dre, because he, you know, I've been with Dre since the NWA days. You know what I mean? I remember when NWA came out, and I seen how he was like flipping some of the break beats, and then his growth and development from that to starting to you know, when he did his own thing, the Aftermath, right?
Yeah.
You know, because to
Eminem,
me,
that was just a whole different.
yeah.
Sound.
So yeah, exactly. So his growth in production. Now, as far as like with RZA, like I just seen the way he just flipped things in general. You know what I mean? Like the beat that made me want to become a producer was Ice Cream. And I got a chance to see him really make that one. Like, you know, I've been around the God before when he was making certain joints,
Right.
but this particular morning, you know, he was, you know, I was really there, and I was focused on, you know, what was going on. Like I was falling out.
Yeah.
I wasn't really focused, but at the same time I was, because I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by the time it was finished, it was like early in the morning, you know, because he was working on it like late, maybe like 3 in the morning, something like that. I remember I came in the room and I just heard it. I was like, yo, I started asking the God, like, what's this? What's that? So I learned a lot from this brother as far as like organization, like with just being free. Like the God is free on his beats as far as like the thing that he does. Like it's hard to explain. It's more like like music is an emotion, it's a feeling.
It's magical for sure.
So I seen how the God put his emotion into music. You know, whether
Wow.
it was flipping the samples or when he started playing and doing, you know, from the soundtracks or the scores, because that's a whole different world too. And that's a
Right.
world that everybody can't do. You
Right.
could produce records, but then when it comes to scoring or, you know, that's something totally
It's a
different.
different genius.
Yeah.
It's different.
So yeah, I'm still learning. You know what I mean? I'm still learning.
That's just
Oh,
the
you put-
bestest compliment
You put
ever.
math on the spot right there.
And that's gotta
That's
feel
and that's-
amazing.
nah.
And I think it's dope that you're so supportive of them, because you know there's always that culture of, oh, because I'm an expert or I've been so successful in one thing, that you might feel like somebody could be looking down on your work. But just to see you guys interacting with each other and
I
being
used
so
to hit-
supportive, it's nice to see that.
I was sitting through the whole project. Like when I do, you know, get to a certain point, I go check the God and be like, yo, you know, what you think? You know what I mean?
I respect that. Even for me to, first of all, mathematics. You know, I watched this evolution.
That's awesome.
And when I was hearing maybe the first 4 songs of this record, I was already like, yo, you on some shit, yo.
Yeah.
And I know how he was creating it and everything, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I was just really impressed on what he was bringing back. Then also his dedication. It was like I actually saw something that I would do in the studio, in the sense of being that guy that would be there from 8
Really?
p.m. to 8 a.m. He went through that phase. He kept that kind of energy going. So to be the executive producer and to make sure that, you know, what the EP does is like he just, you know, maybe just trims a little fat around like that.
Right.
And makes, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a lot to do there, but to be able to do that and have this product be what it turned out to be, it's not only good for me as an executive, but as a fan of music,
Yeah.
I'm also excited, yo. And it's like bong bong.
And do you feel that a lot of your fans have been waiting for this?
Well, I say the response that the single was given, is really been a great response, yo. And I've been getting fans. Look, I got so I'm a good litmus test,
Right.
because I got the angry fans
Yes.
that's mad at me for the last thing that happened. All right.
Yes. I just got over it right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. So I
Yes.
got that. So my feed has been like, great work, love it. Glad you let that happen. Math is on fire. Wu is back. just all positive. And thank you, Abbott, for letting us have a taste of it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's just been a lot of positivity coming in. So I think the fans, time. This is only a few days, so time will go. But I think they're gonna enjoy it more and more because there are songs, yo, that just has this sonic to it that when you put it on, it's like I needed that today. You know what I mean? I needed that today. You can't drink coffee throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
Just one cup in the morning sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how a Wu song could be for you. Just at least have one of those for the day.
It's therapy.
And keep it going. Yeah, therapy, exactly. That's perfect.
Oh, we need that right now, especially times that we're all facing and dealing with in our country. It's crazy. Do you guys talk or address any of the social issues that we're currently seeing right now on the album?
There's a taste of it in our lyrics. You're gonna always find social relevancy.
Well, and hip hop
right?
being
yeah,
hip hop.
and hip hop, yeah. But I think there's a couple of things in there when you listen to it that ironically it touches on today, but it's certain things that's in there that sadly is a timeless lesson that we still haven't learned, and that's confusing to me as a man. To see that
Still going through the same
I'm going through.
cycles.
Well, hold on. Why would I go back to that? Why would I do that? And as a man, but we address it. We address it in a way through our lyrics. You'll hear us say, "Oh, you go, wow, that's still
happening."
And we still got to say something.
Yes.
That's like your pops telling you 10 times, "Look, don't touch the stove. It's hot.
Right.
Don't touch the stove. It's hot." Come on, man.
It's like, racism is bad. Racism is bad. No. Really, racism is bad. It's crazy that in 2017 that we even have to talk about the same issues. Can
I say something off cost real quick? And I know I hate getting political, right? Because I'm more of a spiritual guy. But I had the blessing the other day to read something that it starts off like this. It says, bigotry and racism are the biggest ills plaguing our world today.
Yeah.
And unlike a costume supervillain, you can't beat it with a punch in the nose or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to defeat it is to reveal it for the insidious evil that it is. And it goes on and on and on, right? And it gets to the punchline that if man is to reach his destiny and be worthy of who he's supposed to be, which is created in God's image,
right,
then we have to have tolerance. And it said, and then we can recognize that we all created in God's image and we are all God's children.
Yeah.
Now, that was written in 1968 by Stan Lee of Marvel Comics.
Wow.
In a column. And I'm like, yo, and see, that's before I was born. Okay?
Wow.
And the problem is still here? Come on. We gotta snap out of it.
That's not by design.
It is by design.
Well, we gotta snap. Whoever's making the designs, you need to do it.
Yeah.
Well, whoever's making that design, let's do a redesign.
Yeah, right? I like that. I like that. And I know you guys got to run, but before you go, I wanted to ask it's like a question about just in general about Wu-Tang. How many people wanted to join Wu-Tang and you guys didn't let in?
That's funny. I mean, it's probably, that's a big count of numbers. But the cool thing about it, I think, in the beginning, was it was actually, as an entrepreneur, when I first formed the company, I actually went to a lot of people and asked them to buy stock in my company, and nobody would buy it. I'm serious, y'all.
Do you ever see these people now?
Yeah, I see them. They made a wrong choice.
Yeah.
And then on the creative side, there was other MCs who we loved from our community that we wanted them to join, and they didn't want to join. They I remember one dude telling me that this is kind of embarrassing, but he said Wu-Tang, that kind of sound like some Chinese shit. I'm black. I was like, nah, you don't get it. And he didn't get it. And
obviously didn't get it.
yeah, I think he still lives. I think he still lives in the projects.
No. Well,
no problem with the projects, but he didn't get a chance to see the world.
Did that hurt your feelings when people did not see the vision? Where you're like, all right, on to the next, or did it just gradually get better? Because I mean, it's your vision, it's your art, and somebody's saying that they don't believe in it.
I don't believe somebody that don't believe in me. The Quran calls them a non-believer, and I don't really deal with non-believers because I deal with knowing. You know what I mean? And at that point in my life, and at many points in my life, I knew what this was about. You know what I mean? So
anyone that you wish you would have listened to and had them part of Wu-Tang.
I don't think. I mean, have
just
somebody
be part.
that wanted to join me that I
Yeah.
said no to. I don't think we have a case of that.
Okay. I was
Not to
like,
my
because I'm
knowledge.
always so curious because it was such a magical time. Everybody's coming up.
No, I think the number of us who was meant. I think it was all meant to be.
Right.
The only guy who after Wu-Tang came out and became platinum, just to call it platinum, I guess you could measure
Right.
that as successful. The only guy who was left after that I thought deserved to stand beside us was in jail, and his name was Capadonna, aka Cappuccino. And when he came out, I went to him. We got together and was like, yo, because I knew that he just had the original Wu-Tang energy, and he joined it. So we got him.
This is so legendary. I'm really happy that there's going to be good music for us to consume. Thank you for the free therapy session that we're going to have. But I thank you so much, you guys, for taking the time and hanging out with us. Your fans are happy now because we clarified a couple things up. But congratulations on this. This is really great, and it's good to have good music again.
Thank you.
Thank you.